Vibey. What is happening, folks? Welcome to another episode, Nine Nerd Yards. Some of y'all already in the comments. Shout outs to Film Age Studios. Shout out to E66. Shout outs to Obi. We are breaking down the menu. Let me go ahead and introduce the panel. That way we can kick this off. You know him. You love him. He's wearing a hat straight out of the mean streets of Austin, Texas. It's Jeff. What's happening, man?
How's it going, buddy? How's things?
Things are fantastic. I should change my name, Tyler. Oh, Tyler.
I'm excited for another great movie.
I know. Yeah, it's gonna be great. And you know him, you love him. He's changed his haircut in case you didn't recognize him. It's producer Terry. What's up, Terry? How you doing, man?
Yes, Nine.
Yes, Chef. We love you, Chef. We love you, producer.
Love you, man. This movie's great. Shout outs to Obi. Got to head out. Shout outs to you checking out all the Atlanta stuff, man. Thank you so much. And last but certainly not least, you know him. You love him. He's the El Presidente, El Capitan. He is the head chef. It's Nine from NineNerdYards. Chef, how's it going?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. I think we have a lovely meal set up for you guys tonight. Hopefully you guys can handle the pressure.
Yes, Chef.
Yes, Chef.
Well, let's hop right into it, man. The Menu came out in November. It was a fantastic movie. I saw it like 2 or 3 times in theater. And then I've seen it 1,100 times since it's been out. Let's start with something we don't normally do. Nine, what were your thoughts on this movie, man?
Oh, I go first this time?
Man,
Switching it up.
I gotta say, I really liked it. And I was wondering why the main chef was like so sinister looking, why I was getting a vibe from him. Motherfucker, it took me until like halfway through the movie to realize that was Voldemort. I was like, oh shit, that's why he looks so weird. He's got a nose. It's not natural.
Not supposed to have a nose.
It's not supposed to have a nose. And
I'm gonna be honest with you on that note. So if everybody goes and looks up Ralph Fiennes, he spells his name Ralph, R-A-L-P-H. And for the longest time, I would see this actor and then I would see them say Rafe, but I would hear Ray. So I was like, oh, he's got a brother named Ray. I guess Ray was Voldemort. But I'm like, I've seen this guy in movies. Like, so for the longest time, thought he had a twin brother named Ray. Then I look it up and he pronounces it Rafe. So in case everybody sees Ralph out there, it's pronounced Ralph Fiennes, just for everybody out there. Sorry to interrupt you, Nine, but I just thought I'd throw that out there because if anybody else felt that way, please relate with me.
Done. I think that's like kind of like what sums up the movie for me. It's just like so weirdly unsettling, yet humorous, and it just kind of makes me giggle at some parts. But they kind of nailed that tone, and it for me.
For sure. And shout outs to Decker Clips, also kind of like Bradley Cooper left in the sun. And even more of a Bradley Cooper reference. This is almost like as if Bradley Cooper character in Burnt became an evil, sinister chef. So
that's what he was in Burnt.
Well, even more.
even more.
Decided to kill people. Not just owe drug dealers money. Let's go to you, Tyler. How did you like this movie? What did you think about it?
I loved it. I thought it was a great movie, a really fun one. I'm glad that I think we've got some good ones going on lately, so I'm glad we kept with a great streak. And, I actually worked in restaurants, both back of house and front of house for a long time, over a decade. And I got to say, I feel like this embodied the best and worst aspects or traits of a great chef.
Okay,
for sure.
I thought they did kind of like The Bear, but instead of making you like feel good and kind of hopeful, it didn't.
I still need to watch The Bear. I've been getting it recommended to me left and right.
So I'll say this about The Bear. Everyone says it's a great representation of what it's like to work in a kitchen. And while, yes, that's true, I'd say it's a better representation of what it's like to be a lifelong Chicagoan.
Okay. I'm only
hitting it on 2 fronts.
Chicagoan, so.
Love it.
You'll still get some of the feels.
Love it. Love it. Producer Terry, what did you think about this movie, man? You're usually a big film critic. You usually got a lot of opinions. I'm personally eager to hear what you thought about this movie.
For me, I'd say, 7-ish, low 8. It wasn't like kind of like my thing about it. I worked at Applebee's for like a year waiting tables about restaurants. I like straight horror monsters, so it wasn't kind of like my thing, but it was entertaining. It did get you. It had good, funny parts. The actors worked. Man, you just kind of like. It's good when actors, they just take you out of you knowing that they're fucking actors, and you're just involved in their story, and you're like, oh my God, these people hate each other, they're combating, and it's like they're acting, and it's like, wow, they have really good chemistry with each other. Everybody did.
Right.
Also, but what really did it for me is I fucking love John Leguizamo.
I do too.
Glad
he was funny as hell.
Playing a failed actor.
I mean, ironically, probably his career a little bit, but I've always been a John Leguizamo fan since House of Buggin', right? When he did that back in '95, The Pest, all of his early
everything,
Too Long Fu, right? Spawn, right?
Spawn, yeah.
The
Violator.
I think
this is his greatest
funny
performance.
that
Mario Brothers.
Bam.
His whole thing for this. Because I'm realizing now he's just the movie star.
Movies,
he doesn't even have a name on the cast.
One of the bits of trivia is he has a name, but they don't say it in the film.
Okay. Yeah, they do. The lady says it when she checks in. Something.
Yeah,
Diaz.
they say it's like
George Diaz.
Name.
George Diaz. Yeah. Luigi. Yeah. Super Mario. Now, big fan.
Fun one, Blake. You said maybe playing his own career a little bit. So before we get to you, I'll throw this one bit out there. Leguizamo said he was playing a different failed actor. Yes, exactly, because he fucking hates Steven Seagal. So that's who he was playing.
Yeah, Steven Seagal really beat him up once.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, John Leguizamo and Steven Seagal have beef?
Oh yeah,
yes.
Big beef.
That's worse beef than me and whatchamacallit.
Kamel. Oh my God, guys! I do apologize. We did this whole stream last week. I, for the life of me, cannot get it to be unblocked. I shared way too many clips of the movies. That's why I'm going to be pretty light on this one. But the story that producer T told us about his beef with Kamel Nanjian, it was too good. He's too good.
We're just going to have to re-record last week.
He's my generation's Lin-Manuel. Wait, who are you talking about? Are you talking about?
I'm slightly over by Southwest in case I run into him.
I'm guessing that's 100% Leguizamo.
Yeah, that's got to be a Leguizamo.
We're going to have to get clarification.
Blake, how'd you feel about this movie, man?
Yeah, I fantastically loved it. I told all of y'all to watch it as soon as it came out, that I wanted to break it down solo, but I'm glad sort of that I waited for this. I'm glad that it came out as quick that it did. Ray Fiennes is amazing. Anya, what's her name? Anya Taylor. What's
Anya
Taylor-Joy.
Wisconsin.
I can't never be famous people because I'd be like, "Hey, Ralph, how's it going? Hi, Anna, my favorite one, my boy."
I'm a huge fan of Nicholas Hoult and anything that he does. I've been a fan of his since he was in About a Boy with Hugh Grant when he was just like 10 or 11. And I mean, everything he does is great.
Beast,
yeah, from X-Men. He was Warm Bodies.
Great.
I mean, that was an incredible movie.
Romeo and Juliet with zombies, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. He's in the new.
He's got a new thing with
Renfield movie coming out.
Yeah, with Nicolas Cage. The trailer for that just dropped, so we may check that out
that's
later.
Nick Cage's Dracula.
Yeah, it's Nick Cage's Dracula.
He was in Mad Max Fury Road too. He was the "Witness Me."
Yeah,
he slapped at that.
That's the movie we need another sequel for.
Right, but Anya Taylor-Joy, ever since the Queen's Gambit, ever since the Queen's Gambit, it's just been up and up for Anya Taylor-Joy. She's been getting any role she wants lately.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, she was great in The Witch. She was
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, I
in
was great in The
Split.
Witch.
I hated
Oh, I
the
forgot she was in Split. Yeah,
she
The
was?
Witch was kind of weird.
I'll tell you
but
what,
she
I
wasn't-
actually was not a big fan of the movie The Witch, but I loved her in it.
Yeah, I
she
thought
was
the acting
great.
was
I thought
good.
the movie was just. I get what he was going for with the slower pace and everything, but it was just too slow. I couldn't get into it.
And the dialogue, I hated that true to form dialogue. I was like, man, I can't understand these people.
Nah.
Thou art not welcome here, Terry. That's what.
Also, come on, that goat. As soon as you saw that goat, I'm like, nah, we don't need that one.
that evil ass goat.
Like,
Yes.
Black Phillip, I
Yes,
believe.
just-
Black Phillip.
That's right.
I was like, nope, something's wrong with here. Where did y'all get that song from? We don't have the
Yeah, it's giving
Y'all ain't
me
got Spotify.
Night Hunt vibes, you know. Just it's kind of sounding like a.
What
racist
else was she
slur.
just in? Last Night at Soho was
Yeah.
that the name of it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one where she was the person in the past.
Oh, she
Right,
plays like a
yes,
dual
yeah.
role type of thing.
She was Magic in New Mutants.
I didn't see that. Was
Oh,
that
the
good?
New Mutants is probably one of the worst.
I
superhero
liked it.
movies
Nine hated
of
it.
all time, bro. Of all time, man.
It looked like
I
a
would
pretty good,
rather
like,
watch
horror movie,
She was
right?
in Amsterdam,
Morbius.
which I never saw.
I'd rather. I'll put
Oh, I need to
Morbius
watch
about
that.
the New Mutants.
I have not and will not watch Morbius.
I
It's
don't wanna do
Morbid
that.
Time.
I wouldn't recommend.
Just never
it.
break that
If you
down,
like
ever,
New
never.
Mutants, then you probably would.
No,
Like
I very much doubt that.
Morbius.
The Northman. She was in that. Emma.
Mm.
She was in everything,
Interesting.
man.
She's been in a lot of stuff lately, and it's so
much
great.
stuff lately.
Who's she
But this
related
movie,
to?
But yeah, how about we get back to?
I was gonna say
the-
this movie. For those who haven't seen it, if you're into thriller, sort of dark comedies, that's exactly what this is. It's
Mhm.
very much a satire on. I mean, it feels like all movies that are good and smart that they're sort of a satire on some sort of culture reference, and that's exactly what this is. But I loved it. I thought the writing was incredibly well written. I thought every little. I've gone back to watch this movie, and the more and more you watch it, how far are we in? We're in 12 minutes. All right, we're about to be in spoiler mode, so I'm about to spoil something. So cover your ears if you haven't seen it. Turn it off if you haven't seen it. Come back to this if you haven't seen it and want to come back and watch this. But the bits that have what's her name? Anya Taylor's character. Her name is Margot.
Margot. She goes by like
so the
three
bitch-
different names in this. So
Margot
Right,
Aaron.
yeah.
Margot Aaron. Right.
Aaron,
So
yeah.
so as this character, you see, if you go back and watch the movie, you see the little small tidbits of the husband of the rich couple that's on the island. These sort of eye
The
motions
Harvey
and these sort of
Weinstein.
that character, yeah, the real creepy guy. But like you see these real small instances of like they try to go when they get off the boat. He's just like, "Hey, let's go straight to the restaurant." When she walks in, when Anya Taylor characters walks in, he switches sides with his wife. Right? He's just like, "Oh, you should go sit over here." Like all these little, like these small little nuances that you don't notice the first time, but you can go back and rewatch it and start to see little things, and it doesn't get tiresome. It just gets more like, "Damn, like." They did that. Wow.
They layered it pretty well. And because at first I was just
Yeah.
like, oh, they're saying she thought it was like, oh, doesn't that look like our daughter? And then
Well,
he is
Which
like,
he thought so too.
like, oh, very uncomfortable with the
We didn't
whole
get to that. We
aspect
don't
of
know that
even
yet.
looking at it. And Jesus. Hold on, I need to call this out. I just need to throw some more shade at Jeff.
New
Because,
Mutants.
listen, bro, no, it's not. Both of
Yes,
you
it
guys,
is.
shut the fuck up.
It's okay for you to be wrong, but yeah, right there. And then the
I
one
love
right,
this.
the next one.
What the fuck?
Now his next comment.
Purple gray.
That's it. That's it.
Killer.
Straight
Killer.
up. It's not getting better than
That's all,
purple
folks.
green.
Let's see here. Like William Wonka with the characters and even our lead. Yeah, I do actually see that now. If a less violent Willy Wonka, I would say, because those kids get fucked up in that movie.
Yeah, but they
Well,
survive.
Yeah, he kills everybody.
They're
Well,
not made into
from what we
shitty
know.
s'mores.
Shit, who knows, man? Who knows?
Augustus Gloop almost got
One
made
is
into a
one of
shitty
them
s'more,
literally made into a blueberry. You think
He
that's
gets
not
juice
with them?
now.
That's like a
He gets
fake
juice.
worse
They
than
choose
that.
her.
They juicer back to normal.
That's what they tell us. That's what the government tells us. They tell us that they juice these kids, and that there's little purple people, and there's little fat kids eating chocolate drinks, all out of Willy Wonka's company. We've got the documents to prove that Willy Wonka is working with the elitist pedophiles. I just want to let you know these things.
I forgot we have Alex Jones actually in the building.
Alex Jones here.
Alex, what did you think about the menu? Would you ever eat at that restaurant?
Listen, Julian is a great guy. I knew him personally. I'm very sorry to hear about the restaurant going down. But I've never visited. It's. I heard it's on Epstein's Island. I don't want any part of what is going on with this global conspiracy.
God, I wish Alex Jones would eat at that restaurant.
Oh, cheeseburger gobstopper, bro. That would be incredible.
Agree to disagree.
Gross. Yeah, I'm
sorry.
Apparently.
Oh man,
Sure, he did say that.
Alex Jones said he'd eat his neighbors. Well, then he'd be welcomed at the island. Then I suppose. All right, Nine, kick us off. Where are we starting?
Well, let's say we start at the dock.
Everywhere.
Where the true kind of mystery starts.
Had you seen a preview for this movie before?
No.
I did.
You had not seen
it
to
be different.
Blind as
I did
fuck.
too.
Just like everything that you were like, oh, just go watch it, whatever. It's on HBO Max. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna, just
so you went in sort of like just blind, which is fantastic, I think.
And last week we did review The Glass Onion, and I felt like this was just like such a good complimentary piece for The Glass Onion. Like if you watch The Glass Onion, then you watch this, and there's just like some type of symmetry that just felt satisfying.
If they did a dual like back-to-back movie type thing, that would be great with these two.
Yeah, they should merge the universes. They should make a menu, Knives Out menu.
Benoit's over here trying to eat at the place. He's like, we should probably leave right now.
Yeah, like I think I figured this out. Yeah, Benoit Blanc. But yeah, exactly. So immediately while I'm watching it, it's all at the dock, and I'm getting into my Benoit Blanc because it's Nicholas Hoult and Tyler, and again, her name is Margot. And so we really do believe that they are there together, right? Oh, yeah. But then he's also noticing all like the little famous people that are walking in, and there's a bunch of critics, and then Margot, who seems to be very disillusioned by the whole experience, or doesn't really think that it's like that big of a deal that they're going to be going to this restaurant, then says, "Oh shit," as this older couple walks by, which is kind of ignored for most of the movie.
When you watch it the first time.
Exactly. So I'm like, and that's what they do good. They let you perceive these details, and then you gotta hold on to them for a little while.
Yeah.
Together throughout the movie. What I did find was strange is that he said for the experience is $1,250, and that's like $1,250, right?
Right. Yeah. I was trying to think about.
Isn't that very like cheap?
For this type, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
For that type of thing, I was
just
like, that's weird. Like,
I think it was.
Y'all watching in the chat.
As somebody that's gone to like a course thing that they do like 11, 12 courses, it does cost like $180, $200, and that's just with like going to a small brick and mortar place. I can imagine like if they're going to keep prices the way that they are, and I mean that was only like 4 years ago, or maybe 3 years ago, whatever. But like, still, if the price of food is X, and the price of the experience and the ride is X, like that's and tip. Remember, tip is included.
Well,
like
Blake, here's what I think you're missing though. The one that you went to, like the 12-course meal or whatever. How many people were there? There's 12 people at this one?
Yeah.
So that entire
made it just seem
all those people.
It was like the amount of people.
Yeah, that's the other thing that's going to
that's cheap for the amount of people you got because it's so private.
It was like a 20 seater room.
Okay, so
Yeah,
about the same then.
it's not out of the realm of possibility for it to be $1,250. Like,
Guys,
worst
guys,
case,
help me out in the
we
chat.
and
Like, if
more
like,
than
let's say
$1,250.
you're not going to get murdered, right, at this experience, don't you feel like you would maybe like scrounge together that much for like a world-class chef experience? You know, you're riding on a yacht, you're spending all day. It's like a whole all-day
the whole
experience.
experience. Yeah.
Night Owl,
I just
feel
don't.
that.
I just don't think
Fried
it's
chicken
that
once, so
exclusive as
I do
what
it.
they're. I feel like, man, a lot of people could just like, maybe scrounge together that. It doesn't seem like it's the elite that are going.
Not at that price. If it would have said
If
12,500,
it was like 12,000, exactly.
But I had the subtitles on it. It said 12.50, and I'm thinking to
$12.50.
myself, one time I spent $500 on like a 16-piece order of fried chicken. So
I'd
probably do it. I'd do it.
So to me, the thing is like $1,250. That's something someone making six figures can afford, not something like you only see millionaires and higher at. And that's why I was like,
Well, here's also the kicker with that. It's not just the price; it is getting a reservation for this place. That is the other thing. Like, it is like the fact that like your reservation has to be accepted. Like when we went to Here Nor There for my birthday. Anyways, there's lots of places like this where their reservations will be accepted, and this to me seems like one of those places where they will only accept certain people to be on this island. Could it be more? Yeah, like probably. But also, it's Chef Julian, and he didn't seem like a guy that's about money. You know what I mean? Like he's willing to price stuff high, but like he also doesn't seem like he wants to do that in the first place. Like that's the whole point of this movie too, right? Like he doesn't like this experience in the first place after so long.
Well, he feels like his art is now commercial. It's not art anymore.
Right. Yeah.
He felt like a prostitute.
Exactly.
And I'm saying that because that's the big reveal later on.
That is the bigger reveal, right?
That.
Which I don't know about you guys, but at the beginning with Margot and Tyler, the way they were talking felt like a new couples banter. It didn't feel like
it felt like they knew each other from high school.
Like really like
shit like I'm with the coolest girl in school. I'm with the pretty. I was like, oh, did she like not like him back in high school? And she was super pretty, and now I guess he has money or something. He's going to this restaurant, and now he's dating her all of a sudden. Because that's what I thought. Because he just kept saying that line, like I'm with the coolest girl in school.
It felt to me like a first date that he's been waiting for a long time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like very early on, like first 2, 3, 4, 5 days.
He's trying to impress her
very early on. Yeah.
But like he's also very into fucking maybe he is into fucking food. He's very into food. And when we get these glimpses into the way that like he puts these people on a pedestal, right? And he's so like able to like, because I do know people like this that they are critiquing every little bit of the meal, and they're very like, oh, we gotta go here, we gotta go there. And where I am more of a person that's going to be like, hey, I'm kind of hungry, I'm fine with like tacos. Maybe not like Taco Bell right now, but just some tacos, Tuesday. Right? Yeah, Taco Tuesday. I love that line. I love that line. But again,
this last bit right here, this last line right here, that 90 sent in. It says also when he says, "I'm the one paying." Yeah, I was gonna say that. Like, it means a whole new thing when you watch the movie a second time. You're like, oh, he's not just paying for the meal. He's paying for homegirl's time. He's paying for Margot's time. Like you're like, oh, fantastic.
Okay, yeah. Well, and totally maybe Film Age is right here too, because it could be like a more of a golden ticket type of situation where like he's just charging this much ahead or whatever, but he is still in control of everyone that is accepted or invited to come to the restaurant. I'm just like thinking, man, I don't know.
Which is why Margot upsets him so much.
Yes,
played it all perfectly. So there's one little hitch in the giddy up, I gotta say, one of the early signs that Tyler's a goddamn poser. So yeah, they're immediately like, oh, don't we request you don't take pictures of your food and blah blah blah, and you see him slowly taking the picture, like trying it on the sly.
Yeah.
It's the most annoying foodie thing I've ever fucking heard of. And the thing that drives me the craziest about it is there's actually a restaurant in New York that they realized at one point they were getting worse and worse reviews, but they couldn't figure out why. They had the same standard of food, basically the same menu, same wait times, 20-minute ticket times, all of that. Okay. So the owner actually went back and looked at the videos from a year prior, and there was one difference. The years prior, like as the years go on, more and more people taking pictures of their food before they eat it. So they were mostly getting complaints about the food being cold or, something else wrong with it. That was literally just, well, you're taking fucking pictures for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And you're surprised your food doesn't taste the way it should.
Right.
I mean, yeah, that would
man, it takes like 2 seconds for me to take a food pic. Like, just come on.
That's because you're not that person. Like, wait, no, I didn't get the perfect angle.
First off, because I took it.
Okay, so right here.
Like,
let's talk about them. Yeah.
Yeah. See, $12.50. I'm like, that's not
$12.50. That's how.
$12.50.
I was like, that's.
What are we eating a Rolex? I was like, does a Rolex cost that?
I thought a Rolex cost more.
I feel like a Rolex costs more.
But I mean, that goes to show you her character, right? Like, doesn't know what these things are priced. It's very like in her mind, like it's just as it's on the same level. Like if you're gonna be paying this for that, you might as well be getting like a Rolex. Like at that point, like it shows you how out of place a character like Margot is in this world, and for sure does not belong.
6,500. Yeah, they're not even close.
Between 6,500 all the way up to 75,000. So like
4 people's meals.
Either way. Right. Exactly. And I gotta say, that was like the one head scratcher about the whole movie that I had. That I was just like, oh, that's just too cheap, man. You gotta.
It seems a little.
We got Salt Bay doing this, and he's charging. Let's see how much Salt Bay.
Guap. Might be less now that he's like nobody likes him, or apparently on the internet or whatever.
Does anyone really like him?
Nobody likes him, or is that we just got over this real quick?
I didn't get over. I still do that in the kitchen, Jeff. You need to calm down.
Okay.
Listen,
name the last dish you did that in the kitchen, and why was it just instant ramen? Just the instant ramen flavor pack in it.
Because like, inflation. This happened in 2008. All right. This was.
That's
this
good.
one that Zimbabwean currency just went.
In my mind, that girl's so surprised because the fish is falling off the platter she's got right there.
Fair.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh shit, it's going." Or, I'm sorry, not the fish.
She has a mustache.
She has a Salt Bay mustache. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What are we looking at?
So much.
Damn, spaghetti's $80. That's crazy.
Johnny Walker Blue.
92. It's not even that good.
Thank you.
It's just
it's not that great.
Okay, so this is.
Give me some Lagavulin, man.
The tomahawk is what's $1,000.
The golden tomahawk steak. Yeah, I think we had someone say that they had. Yeah, it's like putting gold flake on a cheaper food and jacking up the price. Exactly.
Yeah,
so the regular tomahawk is $275, but if you want to ship gold, that'll run you $1,000.
I've had 2 tomahawk steaks. They're not that good, man. It's just a lot of meat, but it's not that even good of a cut.
Would you say they're $275 worth it though?
I think I paid under.
Because I've never had one.
200 each time.
Yeah, they're about 150, 175, depending on how big they are.
So yeah, don't pay more than $200 for a tomahawk steak.
Or else you're getting ripped off
did the math. They said, if it was $12.50, and it would still just be $17.57, which is still you can just jack that price.
Yeah. I feel like that's still a good deal. A boat ride to a private island, only like 12 people.
I legit think he's like.
Yeah.
Add all that up. It's like legit amount of money.
So here's
not for all that staff that he had if he was always
for one day.
It's not like it's not like he's just doing this once per year. Like it seemed like he does this very frequently.
Yeah, but he has to be doing this at least 3 times a day. He has that like a breakfast, lunch, and dinner crowd at this price.
So
it seems like it's cheap. Like it's just cheap labor. he can jack up his prices, man. Like, I don't know.
Right. All I'm saying is that I would rather.
We're gonna spend our time arguing about the menu prices of the menu.
Go to this place and be murdered than go and see this motherfucker Salt Bay with his golden tomahawks looking like this over my food. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
For this price right here, yeah, right. Anyway.
All right, Jeff, you were trying to say something for like 5 minutes.
All right, so first things first. $12.50 at 12 people. That's $15,000 for an entire day. For a Michelin star restaurant? Nah, man, that's not good profits.
It's not good profits.
No. So
I mean, the upkeep of the island.
Exactly.
And
And
the staff lives on the island too, so
they're growing their own products,
they have to,
including the animals. So just like the upkeep of all of that, 15 grand for a day, that's not a good enough profit for them. Second off, I will say, do you think it's always $12.50 a person, or do you think he's just like, ooh, for my pièce de résistance, I'm going to get them all in at just $12.50 a person?
That could be it. That could be it.
I love it. Anyway, let's move on.
The menu needs to raise their menu prices.
Right. Even though the restaurant's gone. Spoiler alert.
No wonder you wanted to
they
kill
don't make it
and everything. In the fucking
So after the preview for this, I actually thought this movie was going to be a lot like a comic book that came out recently, Eat the Rich, where I thought he was going to be killing them, cooking them, and feeding them to each other.
I was getting a cannibal type of vibe there. I thought there was
at least like some kind of like Hunger Games style thing. Where
I thought it was going to be more Hunger Games
for
style,
a long time.
You said that's a comic.
Eat the Rich came out last year or the year before. I only read the first 2 issues, but it was good, and it's very similar. Like these rich people up in the Hamptons. Well, they hire staff, like their staff is paid outrageously and all this, and then when their staff gets hits a certain age, they just murder them and then eat some of them.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's brought into this whole thing through her boyfriend, and it's just
I'm
crazy.
Seeing kind of like a little
the similarities
in here, just like I'm at the docks and.
Yep.
Okay.
She feels like she's on the outside the entire time. Yeah, it's a good book. Like I said, I only read the first couple issues, but what I did read, I did like.
Okay, cool.
And it is
cool.
Boom Studios doing some great comics.
Yeah. So, is it like eating a Rolex? You broke motherfucker! No. As I only buy fossil watches that don't tick anymore. Let's see here.
What would you guys do?
I love this part. It's like breadless bread plate.
Fuck that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I see. I don't know, Disco Ball Glitter. I don't know because. All right. So this comment right here. Yeah. He needed an angel investor for that stunt. If he was charging exorbitant prices, he wouldn't need the investor. I think to have a vision, you're going to need an investor first to like. I don't think he had the money first. I think he was just more of the creative drive behind it. Jeff, what were you going to say though?
Also, remember the investor would demand to make his money back.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the investor would be demanding higher prices.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that all the company with all those goons seem very like just all about the money, which is again satire on that. So
I like this take right here too. Like, yeah, there was the implications of like maybe it's like cannibalism or like there's this kind of like twisted thing. Well, again, they are becoming then by the end a part of his menu. So in a sense, it's like a little bit on that nose, but. That also would have been interesting if he starved them, just locked them in.
Did this also feel kind of mystery to you guys? Not in the sense of like, hey, I don't know what's going to happen at all, but more like I wonder what his motivations are, and I wonder how he's doing it.
Yes, for sure. This line really encapsulates the movie for me. You'll eat less than you desire and more than you deserve. Man, when I heard that, I was just like, oh my god.
Okay, but if you were told that line, wouldn't you just like immediately be like, "All right, I'm leaving. Bye bye."
It's like, yeah, no, fuck this.
Why
But
didn't
at
they all
the
just
same
bum
time,
rush the door?
That's what the chef said. Remember, he's like,
yeah,
probably could have
it's like you
overpowered.
guys would have fought back a bit harder if you think that you actually contributed to society or you were good people. You guys just kind of gave up because you guys suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like the point of why.
Another of the when I'm thinking about like the Glass Onion parallels, again, it's like not a mystery, but it is that like group of like shitheads or whatever. That, all these people are
the disruptors.
The disruptor group, yeah.
But no, you're trying to bring up
visit the
oysters.
island.
Yeah, I really like this when they're on the boat. It's one of his comments. And
You have to try the mouthfeel with the mignonette.
Please don't say nothing.
Please don't say nothing. But like, yeah, obviously it's just algae that they're serving on their little yacht, and
yes,
she kind of just like sees through all of the pretentiousness
bullshit
of it, and then is like, well, this is just germs or whatever.
It's something that like these chefs who get too full of their own story or their own reputation, it drives me fucking crazy about them. Dude, just give them a real meal. Don't give them these little drop, like especially the breadless bread course. I feel like that's something a pretentious chef would fucking do.
Yeah.
And it was just
but like par for the course of like what I would be thinking about that experience. Like if I was going on a yacht to a private island, I'd be like, oh, this is going to be some very like bourgeois type shit. But hey, poor people love mouthfeel too, We just
sure do.
Call it mouthfeel. Right?
Yes. I'm broken. I be trying. Put that one up.
Do not be sorry. You do not be sorry.
I'm sorry.
Well, thank you, folks. E66 has just closed us out. Thank you so much.
That was the menu. All right.
I'm at the scene now because as usual, I just got playing in the background while we go. I'm at the scene now with the tortillas.
Tortillas.
They got tortillas.
What are these? What the fuck is this?
Well, I love it. It's all their shame.
Delicioso.
Delicioso.
Oh my god, that scene is great. That scene's fucking great.
Well, it's great because it's supposed to be like what they're all ashamed of, but you got John Leguizamo who's like, oh man, it was a terrible movie.
Speaking of this tortilla scene, if you go to the older white couple, there's in that scene, she goes, "What are these?" And he's like, "Those are taco things for the tacos." He doesn't even say tortilla.
Well, of course, he didn't ask the server what they're called, so how would he know?
Right, yeah.
But the way exactly. But like the way he said it, just so like, yeah, they're the taco things for tacos. These things. There's like little lines like that in the movie. If you go back and I mean even on the first watch, but like on the rewatch, all the little lines apparently in the background, a lot of the times the characters were allowed to like sort of improv. Oh, yeah. And if they was in the background and if it wasn't their like scene for them to be up front, like they kind of got to, sort of got some wiggle room for that. So I thought that just shit like that is it's just funny.
It works. It definitely works. Here. Yeah, but I thought it was very interesting. Like the dedication, like the devotion that all of his staff had was just like very cultish.
Yeah.
Yep. And then they're looking at their living quarters and everything. It's just kind of like barracks.
But wait. They gel. You need to know that. They
gel.
You gel?
I've never been in a barracks, but isn't the shitter usually at least like separated by a wall? Or is it right out in the middle of the room like theirs was?
Not in jail.
Theirs was next to someone's bed.
If it's a jail cell, then...
Well, in jail, at least it's like max 4 beds per shitter.
Right.
That was all staff beds and one shitter.
Where's the shower at? Where are they? They shower in the lake or something? The sea? With the oysters?
Right. So,
they just
did his kitchen staff seem like a cult to me? Because they were so quick to just
That's what we
down
just
with his whole
said,
entire
yeah.
plan.
Well, so
Yeah.
speaking of that, evidently the first guy that shoots himself, that's his son.
What?
Yeah,
Is that-
IMDb trivia.
Oh
What?
shit!
So let me find the trivia about it again. But evidently that was his son, man.
Let me pull
What?
up some trivia for this. 'Cause that's
I need some fact. I need fact checks.
Like
I've seen
Ray
this movie, like,
Fiennes'
You guys
son,
keep going,
like,
I'll come back.
How can that not the
is it the character's son or Rafe Fiennes' son? Yeah.
Rafe's son. Rafe's character's son.
okay.
yeah, you
So
gotta.
I don't know. I'm gonna need some fact checks
Okay.
on there.
I got it. A newspaper article in the chef's room shows that he once worked for a restaurant called Tantalus. Tantalus is the name of a character in a Greek myth. He invites the gods to his home for dinner, but tricked them into eating a stew made from the meat of his own son, whom he had murdered and dismembered. When the gods realized that what he had done, they cursed Tantalus to always be hungry, but have all food turn to ash in his mouth, and to always be thirsty, but have all drink evaporate before he could drink it. Much the same way the chef has served the elite, the gods, and sacrificed his dream, his son. They're calling his dream his son. Never mind. My bad. I misread that.
Okay. Yeah.
That is absolutely my
that
bad,
was
and I am sorry.
cold.
guys.
Yeah, I mean, you're about to blow the
He
lid off.
doesn't seem.
Well,
He
but I
doesn't
believe
even
it
seem like
because-
someone that would have any kids, like because it's professional.
he
He does have a family,
does have a
though.
kid.
Yeah.
He does have a kid.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
showed
in
a
the
picture
picture.
of him and a wife and a child, and considering they never mentioned him again, I figured
Okay.
that was when I read that piece. I figured the guy that shoots himself in the face was his son. And
Oh.
it made sense to me because, like, trying to be him, trying to have his life, trying to attain that goal, like a kid trying to be, walk in his dad's
Interesting.
footsteps.
Interesting.
Terry, you sitting over there like somebody broke your emulsion. That's what I'm saying.
It did. I know he had
Yeah,
something
man, did
there.
they-
But what I was reading was all the different restaurants and like Michelin star restaurants. Each dish was kind of based on like real places.
So they hired one of the. She's a 3-star Michelin chef here in
She's
America.
the only woman to get 3 stars in America.
Yeah, and they hired her as the sort of point of contact for chefing.
For the meals, which, by the way, those were props, so the cast couldn't eat them. But there's 3 different restaurants that I believe, at least 3, that they did base the feel of the entire restaurant off of as well.
8. It was 8.
8. Damn, I only read 3 on IMDb.
Also, some of the same crew that worked on Chef's Table worked on this movie as well.
Okay.
So if
Then
you
why
get
is
that,
Tyler so
almost
surprised?
nice
He should have
little-
seen them all on TV.
Dolly cam
Right.
shots of all the food and little.
you get it. You get
Yeah.
exactly some of the similar shots. They wanted to capture that. So I was like, oh, it does make sense, because I saw the menu. Then I saw a Chef's Table episode with my old roommate. And then because we watched that, I was like, bro, we got to go watch the menu. And so, yeah, like it now, like I was doing some trivia on it, whatever. And it makes sense now. A lot of the feel for it, like when it's just like the food, you're just like, it's so fucking beautiful. That looks so great.
So, do you guys know where the term Michelin star comes from?
Yeah, from the tire
actually
company.
from tires. Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
One is supposed to be like, all right, if it's on your way, stop by. 2 is supposed to be like, if it's like 20 minutes out of your way. And then 3 is supposed to be like make a trip for this.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
But
And
the
They
tire
wanted
company
you to burn
wanted
up them
to
damn
promote
tires.
more people to like
Yep.
drive
Use up
around
the
more.
tires, goddammit.
That is
Mhm.
like a galaxy brain move right there.
Well, and it's so funny because I feel like people don't know Michelin for tires anymore. They know it for the stars for the restaurants now.
Or they think
And it
it's
kinda-
different companies.
right.
Yeah.
This is so
Tires
great.
pump.
You know, it's like Dove chocolate and Dove soap.
It's the same
Wait,
thing.
what? Are you fucking with me right now?
Terry won't tell you. He'll just let you figure it out.
Okay. I'm not even gonna.
No, I'm pretty sure they're different.
Where are we at in this fucking movie right now? God damn
Let's
it.
get back to the movie. Yeah.
I'm at the part right after that guy shot
Did you
himself.
know we are literally eating the ocean though?
We call it Velasic, right?
Wasn't the best part of when
This
she
is
was
big for-
complaining about the broken
Classic.
emulsion, then all of a sudden they just give her that big
The
ass
Big bowl
bowl
of emotion.
of it.
I thought they
Anyhow,
were gonna like drown her in it.
Oh
Right,
wow,
just dump it all over. Like
that'd have been dark.
Eat
Yeah.
this.
Also, I love the way, and I think this is one of the biggest compliments this movie's got, is when they show one of the courses, they actually have the next screen and it breaks it down and you see it all beautifully placed. And you're just like, it takes you out of the movie and it places you in like, actually, this is just a food movie. And then it brings you back and you're like, fuck, they're all fucked though.
And then they
That's
get
part
like
about
a
that
lot
were the
more
last
tongue
two.
in cheek. Yeah, and it's just like Tyler's bullshit.
Tyler's bullshit was great.
Yeah.
Regular cheeseburger.
Just a regular plain old cheeseburger. That's it. Which looked one of the best prepared or like good scenes.
I
of
actually was
preparing
eating
food. I
Five
was just
Guys when I was watching this movie.
yeah.
Really?
I had a good gourmet meal to accompany it.
That's nice. That's perfect.
With Cajun
We all love
fries.
that. And even her broken sauce. What even is it?
Yeah, what the fuck is an emulsion?
So an
Let's look
emulsion,
it up.
the point of an
actual, like-
emulsion is that it's not broken. It's taking water and oil and blending them together using something like an egg yolk. So she's right. If you do see it separating like that, that's the entire antithesis of an emulsion. You don't want that. So she wasn't wrong in bringing that up, and they were just kind of dicks.
Yes.
And then right, because it was like, from what we could see, okay, maybe there was that little bit of criticism about it, but then when they plopped like the big old one, you can definitely see that it's separated and broken as fuck, and like there's no care to it.
Right.
Which I know we're still got a little bit of this to go, or a lot of it. We haven't gotten to the murder. But the overall point of the movie is, I think, is kind of funny because of like what we're doing right now is like breaking it down and critiquing it is kind
That's
of like
literally
exactly what they are going against. Like they're talking about us.
Can't y'all just enjoy the fucking movie?
Right, just like, why do you guys gotta fucking break down every little bit and catch all of these little bullshit parts and just not just actually
appreciate it
for what it is, the happiness that
Tyler is the worst.
And Tyler is like the worst. In more ways than one.
I was so glad when that prick hanged himself.
Oh my god!
Fuck him.
But to start off, we think maybe he's just like a food nerd and he has some money finally, and he's finally impressing that obviously the cool girl from high school. So I was like, I thought that he went to school with her, but the more you get into it, you're like, wow, no, he really is here. Like, because it starts off when like they say their names at the docks, and you're like, what was the original name? Miss somebody else. And she's like
Meriwether or some shit.
Right. Yeah, and I was like, bro, like you couldn't even call ahead and be like, change the name.
Or
like at all.
You hired a working girl.
That fast and that quickly.
So you're this person today.
Right.
We're playing a game where I'm fantasizing you're Sarah Meriwether.
But to think that like they wouldn't realize that, they've been setting all of this up for months and months and months, and he's been a part of the process. They know who your girlfriend is, really. So that was just kind of like a weird.
Well, I think it was because he thought he was a part of it. He thought he was part of the kitchen, the group, the crew. So it's okay. He can get away with this shit.
Right.
Which makes it even weird that he was taking photos, though.
Right.
So yeah,
what was he gonna do with
character Tyler?
I thought he was like posting on Instagram at the same time.
That's like one of the biggest parts about this movie, or the reveals, is that he's fully aware that everyone's going to die tonight, and he has he's gotten a prostitute.
Who's also going to die.
Right. She had no idea of the plan, which makes me like really wonder what that other relationship that he had, or like is it, did
He
she?
probably asked her if she was going to go because he was like, listen, you want to go die on this island? She probably, no, I got to break up with you. And like,
No.
that's what happened.
No, she was probably tired of him breaking down the peanut butter and fucking jelly he was making.
Right.
The peanuts.
I mean,
come
there's
from
a
a
lot
very
of
special
reasons
island.
Probably the only thing that he does know how to make.
Right.
I feel like the breakup probably. I think he wanted to go to the restaurant at first without realizing they were going to die. He annoyed the fuck out of his girlfriend. She broke up with him. And then they're like, oh, we're going to die at this time. Do you still want to come? And he's like, of course I do.
No,
Yeah.
I think he knew the entire time.
I do want to bring attention
I think
to
that was
this,
kind of the
though,
point.
because there is a fine line between intellectualism and worship, but there is definitely an overlap. And yeah, I would say so. It's just that his Tyler's Venn diagram is that as
It's a circle.
It's a fucking circle, right? Like, he only wants to be a part of the group, only almost just to be perceived that he is part of the group without actually putting in any of the work in. And and that just kind of.
I like this right here. I want to talk on this point real quick. So Tyler represents the worst kind of fake otaku, the desire for knowledge with no actual practice. I'm going to say this. So I watched this with my old roommate Bruce, and me and him.
Hi, Bruce.
Shout outs to Bruce. But we had he's been boxing since he was 14. I've been boxing since I was like 22. And we have this not this argument, but always this point of that when we listen to say ESPN commentators or even commentators, people that have never fought. I do the same thing when I watch UFC. You hear people talk about it that have never trained, that have never hit a bag, that have never thrown a punch properly, that have never done anything, but they are some of the first people. They pay these people to critique a sport that they've never done. At least if you critique football or baseball, you might have played, Pee Wee, you might have played college, you might have played middle school, you might have played it at some point in your life. But any,
Mall Ninjas, is very apt. Yeah,
it's exactly.
That's what I was laughing at. Not the next one.
This point. It's exactly this point of that's what Tyler represents. It's somebody that can call out all the moves and call out all this stuff, but put him in the ring, give him a pair of gloves. Let's see what he can do. And he doesn't do anything because he's never trained a day in his life. He's only critiqued.
Well, and it was such a basic level getting. So, I mean, we're kind of skipping forward to Tyler's dish.
That's
it's
fine,
such a basic level of stupid. Leek and shallot are both, they're oniony. You're why would you use 2 onion flavors in a 3-item dish? He didn't even season the lamb.
Right? I was like, bro, what are you doing? Even I would have. I don't think I would have fucked up under that. You got everything.
And I love how Chef was just gather around, come on, we're going to get. And everyone is just look for the toughest.
Gather for the demonstration. Yeah, gather for the demonstration.
What's funny, I said to myself, man, I'd probably just throw up some lamb chops real quick with some garlic, salt, and pepper, and butter, and just call it a day. And then he did do the lamb chops. I was like, oh man, these cookies, bro, they ain't that hard.
The line that got me in that scene was when he's cutting.
2 minutes.
When Tyler was cutting, and he's like, "Everybody, look at Tyler's cutting. He's showing us cutting technique."
He didn't even peel. He didn't even peel the shallot. It was what the fuck? Honest to God, I thought he was going to slice his goddamn hand open. He was cutting so poorly.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where he was cooking for how it he was trying to make a meal for how it would look, not for how it would taste. Which just fuck off, Yeah. Just eat every day, and not the fun ones.
Let me grab E66 right here.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
Go to the Philly steak. It's delicious.
So we're kind of. So I feel like we're kind of hopping all over the place, and I think that's what. I think that's probably what's good about this, and we should probably do that with this movie. So I want to hop onto the next set of characters though. The critic and the was it the publisher or who was that? Who it was?
The bitch boy.
Yeah.
The yes man.
The obvious
yes man. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she was the critic, and he like owned the. He was like he worked for the
magazine,
was
like
the
main editor or
publicator.
something.
Lillian
Yeah.
and Ted.
All her bullshit.
Yes.
Lillian and Ted.
Lillian and Ted.
Was that
And
Ted,
shout outs
right?
to Ted. Shout outs to Ted for winning the egg when he ran away, right? Like
Yeah, well
he
done,
won.
Ted. Smart.
He
man.
hid in
Yeah,
the chicken
like,
coop.
you're the last person. You know, and you
Oh,
know,
that was
it's,
great.
the chickens have come home to roost, right?
Oh man! So my first watch through, when we see Tyler not run, I figured it was because she was such a fanboy. He just didn't want to be away from it at all. But it wasn't that he was a fanboy and wanted to be there for all of it. It was, remember, he was in on it and knew he
Right.
wasn't supposed to escape. So that's why the chef had to run in. You too.
Yeah, you
Right.
And it's so funny when he's like looking through the window, right? Like when
Yeah, because he's just like, and he was so mad when they called her
leftovers.
over.
Yeah, he's just like, what you eating there?
Yeah, he's like, don't
I'll
worry
take
about
that.
it. I got it. Like,
Again,
Chef could have
I was
farted
caught.
into a jar, and this dude would have been like,
I love high. Jesus, that sound effect.
That one's going in the sound bar.
You would have went full Belle Delphine on that, and it would have been all up in there. Let me just play a little bit of a clip here.
if it's trailer, I feel like we can get away with it.
I think if it's trailer, we'll be good here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
let's see
got
if I can-
nose?
Welcome to Hawthorne.
that's a beautiful
Here we are family. We harvest, we ferment, we gel.
We gel.
We gel.
Yes, miss, we gel.
Chef, he's a storyteller. The game is trying to guess what the overarching.
Calm down.
So
Nose.
that was actually a really cool part two, right?
Was that
Right, when you see
because we
wings.
see, just randomly, just wings going across the field, and
Which, man,
of course, it's
okay,
for
we
the
get it.
angel investor.
So heavy-handed.
Uh-huh.
That fucking. Also, I didn't think he was going to slowly lower him into the water. I thought he was just going to drop it.
Drop him.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the
It just
slow
flat.
the slow lower of it was just so sinister. It's so and he's just like staring at it. He's just like, listen. And then he's like,
just like,
yep,
"Ooh."
that's what he waited
I was
for.
like, oh
It was
yeah.
just-
I think that was like, it's Voldemort. That's fucking Voldemort right there. Of course. Jesus Christ.
So
Yeah.
I wonder if it ruined it for the chef, though, that you could hear the timer that he set for Margot going in the background when they're supposed to be listening to the silence.
Oh,
You just hear
right.
the-
Mm.
It was very subtle, but still.
That
it
was so great that they added that in there. They
And
left
they
that in
kept
there
it.
too. It's
Yeah.
such a little.
You won't know till the end.
Who are you?
I am Margot. Why do you care?
I have to know if you're with us.
Because you're hot. Why wouldn't you care?
This menu,
The pictures, they're of us.
this guest list.
So good. I'm just going to try to break it up a little bit. Just
Mhm.
because, they
Good call.
will get us. They will
Reason.
just cut us fucking down right
Honestly,
now.
like,
I hate it. I hate.
How did he get these? It's not good.
And I love
That's
the
an understatement.
the tech bros.
Oh, man.
This is
The tech
Jaime
bros.
from motherfucking Broad City.
What's it? Broad City. He's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, hilarious. I think he's got his own show on Comedy Central too, or had his own show. Let's look at the comments real quick here. Oh, the critic because she's so self-assured or
Of her bona fide.
bonafide, okay, bonafide, and
Mr.
is
Space.
enjoying playing her little game of being an asshole about minuscule shit, and the chef flips it
But
on her.
she literally says, I think they're doing this all for our benefit. This whole
Yeah.
thing is for us.
Yeah,
Like that, yeah.
It's
yeah,
everything
she's
for
very fucking just
Do the
It's
part
just
two
like-
of that, Nine.
the whole
Yeah.
thing was for us.
And
For her.
Nine
Nine. There's a
knows,
part two to that comment.
And yeah, it's really good.
oh,
Yeah.
she thinks she's got this elevated relationship to the food in the restaurant, but she's refused to acknowledge how recklessly she's used her power.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That was
Yeah,
such, that's
and
such a
she
great.
gets the tortillas, and they're like, "Oh yeah, these
All
are all
places.
places that I've closed
Visited,
down."
shut down. Yeah.
So
And it's just like, no,
here's
these
something.
probably would have been like established good restaurants, but you're looking at these little fucking. If there's a little break in the oil and water, as Tyler put it.
But so I wonder if that's, don't get me wrong, she's clearly full of herself, but I wonder if a part of that came from like she basically had to. Because if you're just complimenting everything as a critic, people aren't going to listen to you, and you're not going to have a job very long. I mean, frankly, the society we're in now, you got to
the more
shit
savage.
on
Yeah, the more savage the critic.
I bet we would get more likes if I started fights with more people.
Well, that's why we're calling Camille the next live.
That's the thing. It's like
fuck you, dude.
But that's the thing I like about this channel is that
Terry's
really
gonna cuss at you if you leave a comment. Yeah.
Leave a comment and you'll get a personalized cuss out.
Fuck you from Terry.
Personalized fuck you.
Oh man. Okay, yeah, this last comment right there. Somebody's made content on YouTube critiquing media. A role in the movie hit home with me.
Yeah. Oh shit, let me go follow you right now.
Yeah, go do it.
Subscribe right. Freaking. Yeah.
What if this?
Somebody
said this.
Fucking McGamma.
Yeah.
That's fucking great.
You just got a new subscriber. You just got a new subscriber.
2.
Oh my god, 33K subscribers. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Chill out.
Crunchyroll, anime, and hip-hop.
How many subscribers?
Anime is still good, you cowards. I'm gonna have to listen to that. I'm gonna have to watch that one.
I'm gonna leave a whole bunch of dislikes on this shit right quick.
Personalized fuck you.
Personalized fuck yous are coming your way. Yep, right here. Maybe they did suck. They didn't.
Yeah, so much of YouTube is just like shitting on things just for like
likes,
pretty minuscule
views.
Reasons, right? And just for the views, right? And something I like about my channel is that I really don't discuss things that I don't like. I feel like that's kind of like a waste of our time to like do a whole episode dedicated to Morbius. Like it's just not. I don't want to just be living in that suck.
Yeah, that doesn't suck. I don't want to do that.
So when all the men had to start running, I love that. Like everyone's getting ready to go outside, and his mom just goes and grabs the bottle of wine. Just back down.
Thank you so much, Nino. Yeah, it's really okay. So I want to point out another thing too, another small tidbit. There was a lot of like religious political.
We'll bring Phil Mage on for that.
No, I'll go ham on that. Actually,
that's coming after Atlanta
right there.
There's a lot of biblical religious, references in this, right? Like I'm just gonna point a few out that were very noticeable. The fallen angel, right? Like that's a thing. There's 12 people in the room, 12 disciples type thing. Even the reference of like Jesus, right? And even the chef referencing Jesus breaking bread. Yeah, exactly that. He kisses the chef on the cheek before the chef kills himself. Very similar to Judas, who Judas kissed Jesus, and the flip side of that before he offed himself. So there was Jesus was stabbed with scissors. That's right, McGamma. That was Matthew 26, 48. But yeah, it was a lot of like little references like that is like, oh, like that's interesting that they went that direction.
There's another one pointed out on in the IMDb trivia. The 7 sins are covered by the 6 tables plus staff. Greed, Soren, Dave, and Bryce, who embezzled, gluttony, Tyler, who's willing to die for his food, lust, Richard, who's a cheater, envy, George, who's a washed-up name dropper, pride, Lillian and Ted, who believe the dinner is just for them, sloth, Julian's mother, who did not stop her husband's abuse, and the drinking, and wrath, Julian and the other chefs who murder everyone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
There's a lot of levels to this.
Good. Yeah,
not going for the
they
last
they could have made it a lot more on the nose with that. And,
Right.
it's good that they didn't. It's good that they really didn't.
But
So
it's
okay. So like Margot is kind of like then a Mary Magdalene type of figure, then, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Sure.
I'm just
Well,
saying,
but
like,
she's
prostitute.
gal of the night.
yeah.
To break away from the religious part of it, I'd say she's more like that. The emperor has no clothes.
Right,
Okay.
able to call in the bullshit.
Yeah, just seeing
right
through
through
his
it.
absolute crap right from the get go.
Mm-hmm.
Has no clothes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Aaron, somebody pointed out her being Charlie. This is like what was it? The Atlanta episode? She's Van in this.
right. The Mr. Chocolate Studios.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
It's in the glass elevator. Yeah. But yeah, there's like a little less subtle things about this movie.
I like it.
Really get.
I think the good reveal was finding out she was a lady of the night. That's how the older man actually did.
And she likes her job.
Creepy.
Right, and it was like super creepy, and that is brought on by the fact that his wife was like, "Doesn't that look like our daughter?"
Yeah.
And then we get the reveal that like,
he was doing.
She's
creepy
had this really creepy. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Oh, he believes it.
Right.
Oh, he knows for sure.
He
Because he was
knows
so
what she
trying to
looks
deny
like.
it. Because I thought maybe he was like, "Would you shut up? You think every girl looks like our damn daughter?" And I'm
Right?
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the first one,
When I
that's sort of
first
what I got.
thought about it, I was like, "Oh, is that her? Did she change her look up? And she's been trying to like, get away from like a luxurious life or anything." But then when it flips it on that, I was like, "Oh, that's what I feel like." It's good how this guy. Can you not Tyler?
Can you not jerk off while he's saying this? Nine is saying something very
While staring in your
And that's why you're different than the dad.
There we go. Yes, and he jerked while staring in her eyes. Exactly. Okay.
Just stare at Nine's eyes. Just do
But
that right
yeah,
now.
the way that they built up her character as being the subtle antagonist to the chef, because of the way that they have both been abused, or not say abused, but
They
kind
sell
of
their
like
services.
they sell their services, kind of hoard themselves out to where they can't find joy into their original process. I'm not sure if that like works like directly with.
But the interesting thing was
but
he was ashamed of what his art's become, but she didn't really seem ashamed that she's a prostitute. She's like, yeah, this is just what I do.
Mm-hmm. It's a job.
And I think that was the main difference. Like, he got broken by what he did, and she more or less felt empowered by what she did. She was like, this doesn't make. That's why she survived and came up on top. It's like, this ain't nothing to me, dude. Like, quit your bitching.
And her scheme to get out, or like how she realized her pathway of getting out, I thought was just so really well laid, because he gives her that choice, as we saw in the trailer, is like, are you with them or are you with us? Do you get served or do you serve? And she used that to her advantage to scope the place out and get a little bit more information on the dude. And that's when she sees his history in newspaper articles, and going back, like all of the newspaper articles about him, he's not smiling. He's just like very Voldemort. And then, like from the beginning, the one he's smiling at is when he's flipping burgers at his first job.
And
like SpongeBob
at the end of the
shit.
movie, when he's making that burger, he smiles, but it's such a broken smile.
Mm-hmm.
It's
just like, it's just like a little hint of like getting that joy back, which I was like, oh, that's
it was almost
stuff.
like he was hypnotized too, which I loved. I really loved. Like it was like he just snapped, like trying to find that part of himself again in his head, and you're just like, yeah, we can do cheeseburger. Like, yeah, like it felt really cool to like have that moment. I don't know. I really like that. Nino brought up some good points. There's some good comments going on. Nine, read these out to us. What do we got, man?
From where?
So
start right there, man.
And Nino's next
from right here.
Yeah.
No. The role of the cooking scissors being a symbolic punishment for male aggression was interesting. Yeah, Absolutely, especially when you are considering that like backstory that he told about Taco Tuesday, right? And how his mom had to defend himself from his dad's aggression, right? And then how he came, like, he let the past repeat itself with his own staff, right?
Right.
So,
And
real quick, Nino says she's going to be heading out soon. Nino, great having you. Please hop on for the other ones. You've got some great insights.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Nine, sorry to interrupt you there, brother.
Oh no, it's okay. I'm gonna put this up on screen. But I'm not. My favorite thing about the movie is how Erin gets out. If you notice, she gets out by treating the place like a restaurant, not an experience. Exactly. That's good. She sends her food back and asks for something different than asks for it to go. That's how you get out alive, by being at a restaurant, not a death-driven food experiment. Yeah, and that's something that they weren't. Anyone else was not able to actually look at the experience as.
I feel like, did they even
straight
ask
through the
to be
bullshit.
released to go? Like, these people,
No.
like you said,
I
they
mean, it was just the
quit.
one guy that like lost his finger.
But he didn't.
which we
He didn't
forgot
even.
about.
Did he ask? He did ask to. He said
He
we
was
were
like,
going to go.
We're going to go. Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
the big thing for me with Erin at the end there was she pointed out something that I really do believe, because I love cooking and I cook a lot, but I don't make like beautiful looking things. I don't make like experience. I just make things that taste good because I love to cook. Like, I mean, I've made macarons, but like I don't make them right. The wafers are hollow, but they taste great. Like that's the fun for me. It's just making something that tastes good and the joy I get from it. Not necessarily the, I'm going to do this little schmear. I'm going to put the decorative edible flowers and all that shit.
Sure. What was it called? The Echo Jet?
The what?
Paco
The
Jet.
Paco
Jet.
Jet.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have the Paco
Paco
Jet.
Jet.
That's going to
No,
make it a
no.
very powdery-like substance to coat
fuck
over.
that.
It's so pretentious. Yeah.
There's a lot of good comments going on over here. Let me break this one down. We got leaving with the doggy bag. That's part of it. Insane that she could just cancel the menu at the to-go order, yet everyone compiled with the dessert.
What I thought was amazing is no one else was like, can I get a burger too?
Right.
No one else is like, let's try this as well.
She basically Karened her way out of it. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Karen's self-defense. That's what a move right there.
God,
Oh man.
It's just these stupid fucking
Just like
tweets.
Just like SpongeBob flipping them burgers.
Just flipping them. I'm ready. There's no love in what you're cooking. There's no love.
What other parts? What other major parts are we missing about this movie? I feel, we've kind of gone all over, but like,
I
is there any?
Did want to go back to that. Him inflicting the same kind of punishment on himself with the scissors being jabbed in, and then that leading to the opportunity. We did talk about like how they all the guys had the opportunity to leave, and then that meal is called the man's folly. Yeah. I thought that was really great. That was really awesome.
Well, and something Nino pointed out was, the scissors being used as like the punishment of man's aggression and stuff. But also notice that they were the tiny, tiny scissors, even the ones he got stabbed with. So it wasn't even like, yes, it was a way to punish man's aggression, but not even in a way that could kill him.
Right. It was symbolic.
Everything was inconvenience him.
Everything was symbolic, about the whole experience from top to bottom. It was all about symbolism. It was all about what this, like, there's a thing in front of you, but what it means is beyond what's in front of you. And I think this is most exemplified in the second course when they does the no bread course, like the breakfast.
Just wow.
course.
Yeah. Man, what a like she was right. I was like, man,
he's just like
yourselves.
This is genius. But like going back to that, like, is that
Margo, it's not food.
He only that's the only time his apron gets dirty, right? Is that when he grabs that and it's like well, I think also like going back to like the religious symbolism or whatever, that kind of like Passover moment, you are,
right,
bathed in blood type of thing.
Yeah. Also,
with
all the
one
lines.
burger.
Yep.
Exactly. Is this movie a SpongeBob ripoff? Oh shit,
Bruh.
Oh, shit. Is
Bruh.
that a video idea? Should I make that video? Like just the similarities.
If like he
between Nemo
drowned
and
Mr.
SpongeBob?
Krabs or something, like
Right. Yeah. They were at Bikini Bottom. They're on the surface level of Bikini Bottom.
All right. Also, was anybody else curious about that movie, Calling Mr. Sunshine, Calling Dr. Sunshine? I was curious about this movie.
Right? Like, how bad
How
could it have
fucking
been?
petty.
Like, is it really worth like? Is that the reason
Killing somebody
why he
over?
killed somebody? That movie was that. Well, no,
But like to
You know
him,
what?
it's like it's.
I get it. I get it. There's somebody that I would do it to, and y'all know who it is.
Come on.
Even
He
Seagal.
Oh
He
my
coming
God.
for it.
Yeah, I don't like.
So
It's like an M Night. He could've- I
the
would've
funny
not
part
done
of
it.
that to me was he was mad at Leguizamo's character.
Right.
But motherfucker, you're the one who chose to go see that dumb shit movie.
Yeah, man. That's
Well,
And-
it was
and the
just
thing
like,
is-
First
this
day off
is
of the month.
Yes.
something that was great. But what he saw was just like someone that was just like really not dedicated to their craft, didn't want to actually make something that is excellent. And we got that from John
John Leguizamo.
lines. He's just like, oh yeah, it was just something silly. The shooting was fun, but it was a shit movie,
Yes.
right? He knew that it was a shit movie.
That's what he said. It was a bad part, like bad script, but he said, but it was a fun shoot, which
Mhm.
again, so he still had fun in it. He still took
Mhm.
joy from it. But Chef can't see that anymore. He can only see the overall the art behind the piece. He's the type of guy that would hate Hot Tub Time Machine because it's not some beautiful allegory when it's still a fucking hilarious fun movie.
Right.
Mhm.
And maybe that's the part of himself that like he lost himself. He lost that part
Exactly,
of himself,
yeah.
able to enjoy his movie that has like I'm trying to imagine what it would have been, but like the way he described it was just like an assault on the senses. That movie was just like, hey, the
Pimple
worst.
Jack from Tropic Thunder.
Well,
and
what makes it
about the part about like he's like, oh, that's why you hate me, and then he's just like, what about her? What about his date or whatever?
Yeah.
And she's
His
like,
assistant.
where'd you go to school?
Assistant,
Brown.
Brown.
Got any student loans?
No.
No.
You're dying.
You're gonna die. You're dying. You're out.
You're not.
No, what I loved is when you watch it the first time and the lifeguard comes,
Coast Guard.
or the Coast Guard
yeah.
comes and tries to save them, and he goes, "Hey, you were in that movie that Dr. Sunshine, honey." He's like, me and my wife, we really like that movie. And
Well,
he's like,
yeah.
ah!
Leguizamo's just like,
I'll be right back, guys.
how fucking funny and how petty was it to make them all pay the bill before he finished murdering them?
Right? I'm not paying this, bro. You're about to kill me. Fuck you. Like, what are you gonna do? Who are you charging this to?
Still needs to go to the bank, I suppose.
Angel Investor's dead.
Like, why? Are
Oh,
you
I love this because the dude in Atlanta who was like, I don't know what I do. I don't know what dude this is, but it reminded me of, this was sort of like Atlanta had its own menu episode, right? In the last episode. If you think about it, right? Like a crazy chef. So they're trapped
tired of
somewhere they don't
people
want to
and
be.
Just lost.
Yeah.
Just tired about his craft and people not respecting it anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah, MF Doom. Yeah, I don't know what I do. That whole reference. I got you. What is this? Dr. Sunshine, in my estimation, was more how actors hide behind bag scripts and bad roles, skate by and earn a check. This making of mockery of art and filmmaking. Yeah.
Wait,
266
hold on.
says-
Hold on. There was a Dr. Mario game, and then there was also a Mario Sunshine game.
Yes, there
Dr.
was.
Sunshine is Mario.
Oh, because he was Luigi in Super
Because
Mario.
he was Luigi, so it was Mario. It's a Mario reference. I was like,
And
what
you know
was that
what?
movie? Dr.
Film H
Sunshine,
called it.
Super Mario Brothers.
That
Dr.
movie might have
Mario,
sucked,
that's the
but I
game.
loved it.
And Super Mario Sunshine. Dr. Sunshine.
Yes.
Mario.
Oh,
66 is with you here. Do not
Nice.
besmirch the name of Super Mario Bros. That movie is a classic.
Calling
Yeah, when you're
Dr.
like
Sunshine.
7 years old when I first watched it, it was good.
You know what? But it's still fun to rewatch. It's not good, but it's still fun to watch.
You know what's even better is remembering that how drunk they all were while
making the movie.
Yeah, you remember they were all drunk.
So,
Chef DeMarcus.
IMDb trivia: the role of the movie star was originally written for Daniel Radcliffe, and the off-malign movie that was referenced throughout was Victor Frankenstein, the 2015 version. When John Leguizamo was cast instead, the movie was changed to Calling Dr. Sunshine.
Oh shit! Oh, that would have been fucking epic to have Voldemort
Daniel
and Harry
Radcliffe.
Potter and fucking and that shit.
And I gotta
Jeff,
find it. There's another one here.
Lost it. Oh, yeah, you guys said that you haven't watched Succession yet, but if you like this, I think you would love Succession. It's actually directed by the same guy that does Succession. So y'all got to check that shit out. Season 5 is coming out soon. It's coming out soon. It's going to be on HBO Max sometime this year. So we may have to take a gander at that.
Take a little.
Also, what do you guys think about the Last of Us series? Do you think we should be doing? Would you guys be watching that? Would you guys in the chat? Would you guys be watching The Last of Us and want to tune in when we break it down?
But that one exec at HBO is a fucking idiot, huh?
What happened?
One of the execs at HBO said, let me find the quote here, guys, because it's just phenomenal how stupid it was.
About The Last of Us?
Yeah.
Did he say like, oh, I don't like any of them?
Most games are pretty simple. You jump on enemies, you die, you have to insert another quarter to continue. The Last of Us changed that. So according to this dude, between the arcade Super Mario and The Last of Us, there were no other games.
There's nothing else. It is.
You're very.
It is Atari, and then The Last.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Fucking dumbass.
Yeah, there was.
Well, at least they're acknowledging that like The Last of Us did have impact on like the video game industry. And again, we are going to be taking it if we do streams about it. We will be taking it to the fact that like none of us has actually played through the whole games.
I played through.
So we will be kind of like discovering the story and maybe getting into the lore like from an outside perspective. So,
if you want, I could play it before then, but I'm only gonna do that if we want that perspective. Because, like I said, I've tried a few times.
It's this Sunday, so I don't know if you're gonna even have time.
Oh no! I'd like play through as we watch.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Jeff,
actually, I would actually. Like
Jeff, you're on IMDb. What is the score that the fans are? Everybody.
You guys want to guess?
Yeah. I'm gonna guess 8.2.
9.5.
7.5 for IMDb. 7.5.
9's the closest. 7.3.
Oh,
really?
Wow.
114,762 votes.
114,000. Okay,
What's
so that's pretty definitive.
Well, I guess that would be Rotten Tomatoes critics score, then.
Yep.
Interesting. I did enjoy this movie for 2022 like top 5 movies of the year from last year. I remember this one.
But yeah, exaggerated swagger of a black dude. Probably the cringiest video I've ever seen. I'm gonna play it right now. Jesus.
Wasn't that a black person who said that though?
I'm not sure.
The person who said that quote was black.
The reviewer, isn't it like GameSpot?
Like the person who wrote it.
Exaggerated swagger.
Like that was the thing.
Let's see.
People are
realizing that was
saying, yeah, it was.
People are saying, yeah, it was for you, Terry.
He was, yeah. I was like, that made it even funnier. It was like, but the dude who said it was black. So is it still so bad now?
Yeah, it's pretty cringy, bro.
It's still.
Don't say that. No one.
I'm gonna start saying
maybe if they were an alien, if they were an alien and it was their first day on Earth, and they played that game and just figured out what black people are, then
I gotta say, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't know what you're referencing.
Hey guys,
I
can't find the clip. I'll just go to the most replayed section. It's got to be the most replayed section.
It was a quote describing Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Oh no!
And Puerto Rican mother, Miles is a wonderful mixture of cultures and languages. The way he leaps off of rooftops and flips backwards to face the camera before falling into a headfirst dive is just full of the exaggerated swagger of a black teen. It gives me goosebumps.
It fucking hurts, guys.
While he's wearing the white suit too.
This right here. This right here. This comment right here.
It just sounds funny when he says it. It doesn't sound like when he says it, huh?
The Atlanta episode during the black test.
Black adjacent? Test. He's black adjacent.
No, black people, black adjacent.
I just need to get my...
To see it. You got to live through that internal turmoil with him. The child of a black father and Puerto Rican mother, Miles is a wonderful mixture of cultures and languages. The way he leaps off of rooftops and flips backwards to face the camera before falling into a headfirst dive is just full of the exaggerated swagger of a black teen. It gives me goosebumps every time he does it.
It gives me goosebumps.
Like shit I would say reviewing a game.
Oh my gosh. All right, 4 more minutes, guys. Let's wrap this up real quick because we're going all over the place.
Real quick, that Miles Morales game is fucking awesome.
Yes. This is absolutely true.
Exactly. It's not going to go to fucking bed. What the fuck?
If you don't go to bed, Terry's gonna slide in your DMs and just cuss you out all night. Everybody out there who wants to get cussed out by Terry, write it in the comments. I want to get cussed out by he will slide in your DMs.
I'm gonna assume this is pronounced McGama. So McGama or McGama, whatever it is. Yeah, definitely play through the first one first Spider-Man game before Miles because it does introduce Miles in that game.
Wait, are you talking about Spider-Man 1 for the PlayStation 2?
No. Spider-Man 1 for
Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 3.
Sony Spider-Man.
You're talking about Spider-Man PlayStation 4. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Because in the comments here, McGame is saying he's going to play the first Spider-Man first before that Miles Morales game. Which you get introduced to Miles in that game, so you definitely should.
You love to see it. All right, producer Terry, take us out, man. Anything else? Any final notes on the menu? Anything you want people to know about? Anything we didn't talk about?
I think the most important message is even though these people are serving you, they are very fucking human, and just treat them like humans. And they won't murder you and turn you to a giant s'more and cook you alive. And if you were treating them like shits, well, I hope when they do murder you, you take it like a grown up and just sit there and take it. So
wear a little chocolate hat, yeah.
Just melt. Just melt with it.
Nine. Final thoughts, final opinions. Anything you want people to know about? Anything we didn't cover?
Beautiful movie. If you guys have any recent, movies that have come out lately that you want us to cover next week, I don't think we've decided on that yet. We did Glass Onion last week. Did the menu this week. It would be nice to go, maybe make it a mystery January. I know that should be like mystery March, but like
mystery,
a culinary January. I don't know. Anyway, but just throw some recommendations, leave them in the comments, and beautiful flick. Nice little flick.
Tyler, final thoughts, opinions. What do people need to know about? What didn't we cover?
I just want to say, all these people in the restaurant, they are serving you and they are beneath you. So fucking treat them like it. God damn it!
They're here for you. You're the consumer. Consume.
It's your fucking money. Just what I said in the beginning. This highlights both the the great and terrible things of a great chef. You can get some amazing food, an amazing culinary experience that you can never imagine or experience elsewhere. But then you can also get the people who just fall in love with their own myth, and they really just they lose sight of the whole fucking thing. It's at the end, it is a meal. You are supposed to sit down and enjoy it and look forward to eating it, not be like, oh my god, and he's trying to all. No. A meal is something you are supposed to enjoy and enjoy eating. And in a restaurant experience like that, you're supposed to enjoy it with other people. Food brings us together. Just bring it together, you know?
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Kind of like this video, kind of like this stream, you know? We had this full course meal. I hope you guys liked it. Maybe some of you guys thought it was a tomahawk steak dipped in gold. Maybe you thought it was just a burger. But the point is, I really hope you enjoyed it. Blake, what do you think?
Yeah, I really love this movie. Like I said, I'm going to go with one of the top 3 movies that came out last year. I don't know a whole bunch of other great ones that came out last year. And I think specifically for the genre of like thriller, suspense, without it getting crazy, without things needing to get bloody, without things needing to get all fucked up. Like you have a smart, dark comedy thriller movie. And, yeah, I'm so glad that it's out and everybody can watch it. If you haven't already seen it, HBO Max. Also, Ralph Fiennes. He's got an incredible library of films, and I've been a fan of his in Schindler's List. So, yeah, everybody, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. And if you have seen it and you enjoyed this, thank y'all so much for tuning in. On that note, we are going to be wrapping up over here. Tyler, where can people find you to talk all things about movies, TV shows, or even comic book nerdom?
You can try Skyping me at Don Cheadle's driveway at littledickie2.com. Because of the hackers. Because of the hackers. You can try. Where else am I? Oh, you can find me on Facebook, just Jeff Madel. You can try me on Instagram, Madel Jeff. Or you can find me on YouTube at NineNerdYards.
For sure. Producer Terry, with your new haircut, where can people find you?
If you're ready to start beef with me and get on the list, people I don't like, you can always find me on my Instagram at terryfphotos. If you're trying to get the new NineNerdYards exclusive Atlanta pins, then add me at Pendependence, Colorado. You can get those hand delivered to you. Only $35 plus $5 for shipping, and get the 4 limited edition pins that we had made.
Nice. I seriously thought for a second you're going to be like, and if you want to get these hands, come hit me up.
I'm right here, fucking Denver.
2-for-1 special. I got you.
You have a fist on your goddamn
you have a fist on your
shirt? Goddamn. Punish you, Terry.
Love it. 9, where can people find you?
Right here, my dear lad. I've been trying to muck all season. I've been trying to keep the exaggerated swagger of a young black teenager, and and keep us eating good, right? And find me on YouTube, Twitter, and we got the Discord up and running. People are still chatting in that. And yeah, I'm still doing this crazy my Patreon. Yeah, find me on the Patreon.
$1.
Engage with me. It's $1, guys.
$1 hair.
And
just had a new episode come out today.
Yeah.
On Patreon.
Oh, I love it. I'm gonna go tune in as soon as I'm out of here.
Wait, you said a new episode? No.
You didn't drop a new episode?
Notification, man.
You got a notification, but it wasn't. It
wasn't about a new episode. He was asking a question: how long he should drop this next episode?
Yeah, because this goof that stood by the goof that sat by the door.
It's gonna be at least 1 hour. Cut nothing. Oh, come on.
Okay.
Someone go in there and vote that too, so we can beat out 30 minutes.
It's going to be this long.
I feel like you should release it in 2 parts.
Get it in 2 parts.
2 parts.
2 parts.
Okay.
I feel like
Mike.
2 parts will be easy on you. Hey, what's up?
Where can people find you?
I thought you'd never ask. You can find me, Money Blake Weather, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. You can also find me here on 9NerdYards. You can also find me TikToking with the kids. I have been dropping clips of my podcast, Unfiltered Bachelor, which you can find on your favorite podcast app, where I talk dating, relationships, and the mental health that goes into those things. So yeah, hopefully you follow me, you find me. And
You
if
just featured
you reach me,
Maurice P. Carey quite recently on who was also on the Goof That Sat by the Door episode.
I did have Maurice P. Carey on, and we have that episode. It's released now on Spotify, and those clips will be released on TikTok and Instagram probably by next week. So everybody go check out that episode. Maurice has it was a fun episode to do with him. So anybody that saw him on this channel knows how awesome he is to speak with. So yeah. Fam still got the tree up, the man of culture.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. He's E66. I put it up late, so I get to keep it up late. That's
that's what's up.
Just like when you take a Viagra, you take it late, and it still stays up late.
I was waiting, almost got a full stream without you saying some crazy shit.
On that note, let's get out of here, Nine. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank y'all so much for commenting. Just being awesome here and hanging out with us. And whether you're watching this right now live or on the replay, morning, evening, afternoon, we do appreciate you. And until the next time, we will see you. Peace.